jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny unsurprisingly lost his legal appeal against a 9-year prison sentence on Tuesday as he lashed the judge as a traitor to Russia. President Vladimir Putin's top foe appeared at the hearing in Moscow City Court via video link from his prison colony and took the opportunity to tell the judge, "It's you, your system and Putin who are traitors against the Russian people." His sentencing came as the Kremlin seeks to silence the remaining government critics within Russia as it pushes on with its military offensive in neighboring Ukraine. A Moscow court ruled to leave the sentence without changes and for it to enter into force immediately, meaning that the leader of Russia's embattled opposition will be transferred to a strict regime penal colony with harsh conditions, including few family visits. Navalny in late March had his sentence extended to 9 years after he was found guilty of embezzlement and contempt of court in what his allies say are trumped-up charges to remove a dangerous adversary for the Kremlin. He dismissed his trial as meaningless, saying, "I despise your court, your system. It's you, your system and Putin who are traitors against the Russian people," said Navalny, 45. "I am ready to sit in jail to prove that not everyone in Russia is like this." Navalny used his speech to condemn the Kremlin and its military campaign in Ukraine. "What Putin is doing is pointless," he said. "One crazy thief has seized hold of Ukraine and no one understands what he wants to do with it." "Your time will pass and you will burn in hell," he concluded his speech. A former lawyer who rose to prominence more than a decade ago by lampooning Putin's elite and voicing allegations of corruption on a vast scale, Navalny has been the principal non-systemic, i.e. genuine, opposition to Putin and his regime. As a long-term thorn in the side of the Russian autocrat, he was arrested on his return to Russia in January 2021 on charges of breaching bail conditions for a previous dubious fraud conviction. He was accused of breaching bail conditions after he was flown to Germany in for emergency treatment August 2020 due to being poisoned by the Kremlin with Novichok. In late March, he had his jail time extended to 9 years after he was found guilty of embezzling donations to his political organizations and contempt of court. He was already serving 2.5 years in a prison around 100 kilometers, 60 miles, east of Moscow for violating parole on old fraud charges. The new sentence will replace the one he was handed in February 2021, meaning Navalny will remain behind bars for another 8 years. The hearing started last week but Navalny was granted a week's postponement so he could have a family visit. Navalny's constant and consistent charges of corruption against Putin and the Russian state were echoed by Russian diplomat Boris Bondarev, 41, who resigned on Monday after 20 years in the diplomatic service. He sent a letter to 40 diplomats in which he said he had never been so ashamed of my country following Vladimir Putin's decision to invade Ukraine. In the letter, he condemned the aggressive war unleashed by Putin against Ukraine and in fact against the entire Western world. Bondarev added that those who conceived the war want only one thing: to remain in power forever, live in pompous tasteless palaces, sail on yachts comparable in tonnage and cost to the entire Russian Navy, enjoying unlimited power and complete impunity. Navalny's lawyer Olga Mikhailova told the court the sentence should be annulled as it is unjust and contradicts international law, while the prosecutor called it legal and justified. Navalny alleged his legal team caught Judge Margarita Kodova right in the middle of the trial calling someone from the presidential administration. Navalny rose to prominence as an anti-corruption blogger and, before his imprisonment, mobilized anti-government protests across Russia. In 2020, he narrowly survived a poisoning attack with Novichok, a Soviet-designed military-grade nerve agent. Despite accusations from Navalny, the Kremlin denied any involvement. He was arrested last year on his return from treatment in Germany, sparking widespread condemnation abroad and sanctions from Western capitals. In 2018, he campaigned as a presidential candidate but was barred from running in the election that saw Putin secure a fourth term in power. Navalny's political organizations across the country have been declared extremist and shut down. His key allies have fled Russia and several are wanted by Russian authorities on criminal charges. Navalny's team continues publishing investigations into the wealth of Russia's elites that have garnered millions of views on YouTube.